Daughter received W-2 for work she did, but never got paid for. Background: teenage daughter performed work for a dance studio that she attends. Teaching classes, helping younger students, etc. This was last summer. Situation: studio gave her the runaround on why she never got paid for the time. Data entry errors, missing information, person wasn't there to talk to, constant excuses. I left it up to her to advocate for herself, so tried not to get involved. And if the money was that important to her, she would push for it. She still has not gotten paid for this work. Today she received a W-2 for the money that was never paid. I am livid. Any specific advice on how to approach? I don't want to throw around threats and terms that don't apply, but would like to clearly get the message across that this isn't acceptable. Update: thanks for all the advice. Email sent. Super helpful. Didn't go full scorched earth, but let them know if she doesn't get paid desired outcome, then there will be consequences. I would email them or have your daughter email them stating that she never received the wages reported on the W-2. And if she is not paid in 7 days, she is going to file a complaint with the Department of Labor, the state agencies, and the Attorney General's office. 1. IRS: even if she is eventually paid, it is likely other misconduct is happening. 2. State Department of Labor, which will likely get the money to her the fastest. 3. State Ag. 4. Tell them you are contacting all these entities. 5. Stand outside the studio and ask anyone going in if they know of anyone else working there who has been put in your daughter's position. That will get their attention quick. Prep your daughter to call the owner of the business. Help her on what to say. State the facts. I got a W-2. I never got paid. If I don't get paid in 2 days, I'm calling the Department of Labor. That's it. Firm, polite, professional. Have her call on speaker and listen in. If it gets nasty, you can step in. Don't let these jerks get away with ripping off your kid. This is bullshit. Contact the state's Department of Labor and file a wage claim. You have the evidence in the W-2, and she is very likely owed fines in addition to her pay. I honestly wouldn't bother with trying to contact the business. It will result in more runaround and delays. And they have delayed by months at this point. Just call the doll and file the claim. I know you said you don't want to threaten them, but nothing will get done without it. You've already tried that. Tell them you are going to report them for fraud to the Attorney General. If you aren't paid in 2 days, do it. These people are white-collar criminals. Here's my opinion that you probably don't care for, but you said teenage daughter. You sometimes need to advocate for your child and not let them advocate for themselves. I remember myself even at 19 thinking I knew everything. If she worked all summer for that dance studio, the first time I didn't get a check for my work would be the last time I did any work for them. Until I got paid. To go a full summer without getting a paycheck is absurd. If it hasn't been corrected by the end of the month, call the IRS at 800,829-1040 and ask them to start a W-2 complaint. All the dance studio's information the IRS will need is on the W-2. You should check your state's unclaimed property website. It's possible they eventually did pay her but didn't put any effort into delivering her a check. In Minnesota, if you are under unpaid, the business owes you twice the missing wage. The correct approach is to file a wage and hour complaint with your Department of Labor. Not only did she work the hours, she received a W-2 showing the income. So this should be open and shut. There are rather extreme penalties for businesses who fail to pay their employees in a timely manner. Threaten to contact the Department of Labor now. I guarantee you that they will magically find her money and give it to her immediately. I'm surprised she received a W-2 and not a 1099. Most dance studios used to abuse labeling teachers as contractors. But that's beginning to turn around. Was there any agreement for the wages after tax withholding to be applied to her class bill? I'd appreciate an update post to this in a couple days to see how the dance studio responded. Haha, well, now they are caught red-handed. Because they filed a federal document specifically showing the wage and how much is withheld. The W-2 is actually generated by the employer or possibly their tax prep person having no knowledge of your situation with payroll. Too funny. I have a friend whose daughter teaches at the dance studios that she is a student at. With that being said, I know her daughter does not get paid, but instead she receives a discount on her classes. Just double checking that is not the case. If it isn't, then definitely get your money they are saying she earned. If it is, then wouldn't she get a receipt or statement credit instead of a W-2? If they did to your daughter, they will most likely do to someone else's daughter. Do not wait to file complaints with all government agencies. Are you familiar with escheatment? It's possible after your daughter gave up. The business issued a check that wasn't picked up. The business is supposed to hand over these funds to the state. It's highly unlikely, but check unclaimed property with your state as well. They could be holding the funds in her name. Why would leave up to her? This is wage theft and it's a crime. Besides the tips that others have given you, please also look up the laws regarding late payment in your state. They may owe you much more than just the stolen wages at this point. And it should be fairly simple to take them to small claims court over it. Seriously, you let your teenage daughter handle this herself? That is the perfect parenting opportunity to teach her how to advocate for herself and stand up to herself in a world where women get pushed around in business and pretty much everywhere else. Please reconsider these types of parenting choices. I am happy to see you got involved once the W-2 was put into play. This may be good evidence to provide to whoever is handling the labor board complaint you filed with her when the wage theft occurred. You let your kid go without the money she worked hard for. This wasn't on her to step up, it was on you. Need to take it back and ask for a letter if getting audited. Please report this immediate to the DOL and other state agencies. It's probably happening to other employees and is totally illegal. They are lying to the IRS too. Threaten them with the wage and hour division. Your daughter will get paid post-haste. Call the IRS. I had this happen to me and there is a form you can file that covers this situation. I just can't remember the name of it. I don't know if it's been pointed out yet, but a lot of states have statutes that explicitly state when you have to pay an employee for work. In my state, a violation of that can lead to additional civil penalties and attorney's fee for you if it's litigated. Contact your state's Department of Labor. File a complaint. Depending on the amount listed on the W-2, I would also contact the Internal Revenue Service. If you still get the runaround after doing all of the top posts, I'd also record the call if it is legal in your state and post it all over social media. F that place. I would report them to the DOL Department of Labor and file a complaint for violating the FLSA, as that is exactly what happened. She can file that complaint if she is 18. If younger, it's up to you, but keep her close so she learns about that as well as consequences for any company taking advantage of those who are young and inexperienced. Best of luck to both. Which problem do you want to fix? The W-2 reporting wages she never received or her never receiving the wages? Don't pursue the wrong problem if you want a specific outcome.